Kelton every Tuesday night. I'm joined by the awesomeness that is XLNC Salic. He streams, if you want to find him, I think his Twitch name is just Salic. And
Salic Keldorn with the yeah.
Salic Keldorn.
Keldorn,
not
yep.
Salic, Salic. And he streams a lot of Civilization. So I tried to watch the last time you streamed, and I got about 10 minutes into it before falling asleep and running off the road. So don't watch Salad while driving.
Fear controls them.
That's generally, yes. Don't use your phone while driving, please.
No, it has a lot less to do with using the phone while driving and more to do with Civilization.
That's fair. I also stream classic Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes.
That we need to do sometime.
That would be pretty darn awesome. I actually have all the CDs from the original download that you had to buy in this massive case that came, I believe, with 8 CDs total that you had to download to get all of Battlefront 2 classic on my computer. So I'll have to find those CDs and bring them out. But I know that I have them all still, and we'll see if my super fast new computer can just download it in a blink of an eye. As the Fizz and the Zoe banned away by teams feels bad, so they're taking away the silver trash of mid laners, and Kai'Sa as well, though I don't think any of those players, or any of those champions are played much in silver elo. If my games of ranking say anything, usually those are the feeders straight off the bat, because people think that they're better than they are. As feels bad, the Kayn and the Zed taken off of the table.
Kayn, Zed, we see a lot of mid lane pinching here. Kayn, of course, getting knocked out of the jungle pool, as we see Brand coming out as well, a support / mid lane knockout there.
That is silver trash.
It's also bronze trash. I will tell you that.
That is officially true silver and bronze trash bottom lane supportive role of the Brand. I see him quite a lot. He is annoying to deal with, or he's the easiest to kill on the enemy team. But either way, will not be playing this time around as the first pick for Social Bund grabs the Shen. Fanciness for the top lane. We saw him play last game. Wasn't able to get off to an early game advantage put down by the jungler and the top laner, that Yasuo. We'll see if Yasuo is the counter pick from Silver Trash or if it's something else picked up.
It's normally not as much of a counter as you would think. Yasuo into Shen, especially since Shen can avoid some of those auto attacks with his W. So I don't expect to see it out of it, although we might. Hovering Jax ends up with the Riven for Jace's. We saw a Riven played by Riven's Exile last week that was absolutely monstrous. So we'll see if that Riven can come up well against the Shen. As Phantom of Temp hovering the Rakan and locking it in.
So what do you think about the 2 new AD items coming in the next couple patches?
I actually haven't gotten a good look at them yet. I will be honest there.
All right. Tyler says you are a pile of potato salad. Well, us in the South love potato salad, so that makes me pretty happy. Unless you're talking to Salic, which I don't know if he is a big fan of potato salad or not. I do like Raven Leo 8 picking up the Xayah, taking it away from Silver Trash, being able to get the duo of them in the bottom lane, as Phantom of Temp did pick up the Rakan. Could be support, could be AP, could be AD. There's been a lot of changes to Rakan recently that have made him pretty powerful in solo lanes, and he's pretty optional when it comes to picking how he wants to build and where he goes. So once again, a pretty good flex pick from Phantom of Temp, as Sakura Sammy will lock in the Warwick.
We got the Warwick. We also see iDecrepify taking that Xerath. He had the Veigar in the mid lane last game, so we'll see if he can do a little bit more with that Xerath. I've been playing a lot of Xerath lately. Love the artillery champions in the current meta with all the assassins that have been popping up, especially in lower elos. Xerath is a very safe, very strong choice, especially when you got smashed the game before.
And I love the fact that with that ultimate, you can use it to chase people down who are trying to run away after a failed engage. You think about Riven, who so often, after getting a shield, starts hopping her way with the broken wings with only 200 health. And you're like, all I needed was an ignite. Or Rakan shielding to an ally with almost no health. And all you wanted was one more hit. Well, with Xerath, you have a massive range and 4-5 shots to be able to try to take them out. And it's so powerful when you stack those on top of each other.
Absolutely. As we see the Graves and Trundle both being banned out, both teams pinching the jungle pool. Trundle can be a top laner. I'm curious to see because he's been played a lot, especially at MSI, was seen a lot in the jungle. I'm curious to see why they're going for the jungle bans on the side of blue side, as they are, in fact, already have the Warwick for Team Silver Trash.
Yeah, it could be they were thinking it might be, say, actually, I'm not positive. Riven mid lane, Warwick jungle, Rakan support, and the Trundle top lane versus Shen, because Trundle can be really, really powerful against the Shen. I think Trundle can even be played in a poor Silver Trash way bottom lane supportive role, but he's usually only picked up to counter those defensive stats that Shen built. And so being able to steal those away can be really crucial when it comes to mid to late game. So it may be less of, we don't even know where you would play this guy, but let's go ahead and take him off the plate so he's not even an option to counter our Shen.
Oh boy, that is scary. Cag Fancy on the Poppy hovering smite right now.
This guy on Poppy has made many an amazing play before.
Made me cry.
And I have seen some highlight plays that he has posted in the Discord chat before. This guy is good. Excited to see what he brings to the table this time around. Will it be the straight damage dealer or will it be the tank? Could be either, and he oftentimes builds a little bit of both. As Aurelia, the last pick for Team Feels Bad, besides Xerath, they have a lot of AD.
They have a lot of AD. Of course, Xerath does scale pretty decently, has some strong impact in the mid game especially. So we'll see if they can really get it done. The big thing is they've got the big AP carry with the Xerath, the big AD carry with the Xayah. Irelia can also pick off any backline targets that are trying to get away during a fight. So they've got a nice strong team fight, especially if Social Bun can jump on that Irelia while she's diving and really get a good Shen taunt off. Last game we didn't get the opportunity to see that big combo where your diver delivers your Shen right to the enemy backline. So we'll see if we can get it this game.
As it looks like, oh, they're switching it around. Confusion for team. Actually, I'm kind of lost here because Phantom Temp is on the side of Silver Trash, but he's saying that there was a little bit of mix-up on roll calls. Well, we'll find out what they decide to do as we still have 10 seconds left on these picks. Before we get to too much analyzation, let's go ahead and roll through the players and their champions. After all, we are trash. This is true, Rezdra. I'm right there with you. Don't worry. I could be that Rakan that you are playing for me right now. It's totally okay. Team Feels Bad. We've got Social Bun. Welcome to the stream. First time playing, taking the Shen in the top lane. I Decrepified. Game number 2, taking the Xerath in the mid lane. Raven Leo 8. Huge call out for her. First time on the stream. Welcome, playing Xayah ADC. Cag Fancy with Irelia in the jungle. And Death's Design on the Poppy in the...
I think that's top lane. I think Shen might be the support in this one.
Top lane. Social Bun Shen taking the supportive role. That makes a lot more sense. Give it over for Team Silver Trash. This is why I'm Silver Trash. Analyzing.
And then this is Silver Trash. We got Sejaces on the Riven in the top lane. Rakan, played by Phantom of Temp, down in the supportive role. Warwick, played by Sakura Sammy, sitting in the jungle. Baking King 1122. Welcome back for game number 2 on the Rise in mid lane, and DRF Xeno playing the Jhin in the ADC.
So I would love to see really good vision out of Team Feels Bad. One of the reasons why is that as soon as Jhin starts the curtain call, Xerath can pop the ulti as well and drop every single one of those ultimates on the Jhin where he's standing, because you can stack them so fast and it would just execute Jin's health. Probably not kill him, but drop him extremely low. But they need to have that vision to know exactly where it is that Jin's ulting from if they're going to try to pull something off like that. Because they're about the same range, I believe.
They're close to the same range, especially once... here's the thing, with Xerath, it actually gets longer range as he ranks it up. At rank 1, it's probably about 3/4 the length of Curtain Call. At rank 2, it's probably equal. When you get to that rank 3 ultimate, though, you could technically... you could really realistically hit a target in mid or bot lane from the middle of the map, from the mid lane, if you're closer to one of the sides there.
Indeed. So with a Rise and a Warwick as well from Team Silver Trash, they have massive mobility. We've seen Rise ultimates just move people across the map and change things up quite a bit, or escape from the Baron pit after trying to sneak it away, as well as Warwick on those Predator boots, going to move around very, very quickly. Overall, it seems to be two fairly even teams on, at least when it comes to picks wise. The only thing from Team Feels Bad is, once again, the blue team having the scaling tanks of the Shen, Irelia, and Poppy, whereas Silver Trash is going a little bit more for that damage dealing. No real tanks across their lineup.
Yeah, they can build that Warwick as a tank if they really choose to do so, but more often than not, you'll see him go with that hybrid tank damage build like we were talking about. I'm curious to see what kind of build Phantom of Temp goes for on the Rakan, probably that cooldown and possibly mixing in some AP. We'll have to see exactly what he does, because like you were talking about, there have been a lot of changes to Rakan recently that make him viable in a couple of different ways.
Hopefully decent Riven play. We'll see if Sejaces can fit that for Shadowhunter 311, who played Riven to incredibly powerful plays last game in game number 3, or 2, I believe it was. Because game 1, it was banned away and ended up being on the Yasuo. So either played game 2 or game 3, Riven, and did a really, really good job of it. So I should switch over to my loading into game screen, because we have some amazing skins: Sweetheart, Xayah, Order of the Lotus, Irelia, Scorched Earth, Xerath, Scarlet Hammer, Poppy. Professor Rise is such an old skin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I haven't seen that
That
skin in
is...
ages.
Holy cow.
Tundra Hunter Warwick, and Redeemed Riven, also some good skins. Tundra Hunter Warwick is very rarely played, but I have seen it on rare occasions. It was really popular when it first came out.
I can appreciate it too. It's a small change, but it's an effective one. It really brings a different feel to the character.
One of my favorite things with that skin was when you tried to go full ice teams, and half the time you couldn't get full ice champions, so instead you just go ice skins. That's actually the reason why I bought a crap ton of fire and ice skins for a ton of different champions, was because I think season 4, when me and my friends would play, that was one of the most popular things we would do. We'd try to get like all fire with fire skins or fire champions, or all ice or all human, all stuff like that. It was kind of fun. It really caused you to think really deep into champion pool picks to try to pull some fun stuff out.
Well, I think we've got something in the works that I'm gonna kind of poke with a stick here, where it's gonna force players to really think about their team compositions here in the near future.
Yes, and that will not be officially announced until the end of August, beginning of September. My plan is to do the full announcement with the video at DragonCon.
Nice. Okay.
So that will be the ultimate release, because at that point should be the highest number of viewers the stream ever has in game, or at any one time. I think last year we broke 150 live viewers or something ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
And so hopefully we can do that as well. And this time around, I actually have connections at the DragonCon convention in which I can help to set up all of the behind the scenes stuff for where the chairs are going to go, where the screen is going to go, where the casting desk is going to go. I get to help design the layout for the tournament as well, which is pretty darn awesome.
Wow, holy cow, that's awesome.
Excited to hype that up as much as possible. If there's anyone that wants to buy a plane and or DragonCon ticket and come both watch or play live, feel free to drop by DragonCon 2018, because that is where we'll be doing a live casting tournament. Salik, you're only up in Tennessee. How hard would it be for you and your wife to drop by?
It wouldn't be too hard for us at all. The question would be childcare.
Childcare is the question. As the Shen support. So, talking about the Rakan and Shen, very similar champions in the bottom lane, and they both have dashes. The Rakan has a knockup, whereas Shen has a taunt. But with these ADCs, who would you give kind of the power to?
You know, I have to. It's hard because of the fact that Jhin has the limit on his shots. If he can get, if the Xayah can get a little bit ahead, she's gonna have the advantage in the lane because of the fact that her CC is a little bit more easily accessible, and she does have the ability to have Shen's zone dropped on top of her so that she can't be hit by auto attacks. If Shen can Spirit's Refuge a lot of those fourth shots at a Xeno, it's going to be very easy for Raven Levi to eke out an advantage. The question is are we going to see Social Bun actually be able to use that ability and get that off?
We'll have to see, as I don't play much Shen support, but I love Rakan's mobility. it is very, very strong and able to just come in from such a massive distance with those knockups, as well as his ultimate quickness charm that he can do. When it comes to grouping power, it is just so strong and efficient. Would love to see it paired up with the Bacon King on that Rise because it is AoE spells that he can spam out. In addition to Sejace's on that Riven, he's going to have the AoE stuns on top of it. So the grouping power of Silver Trash is not bad. They just need to have that damage edge that can take over the armor and tankiness that Death Design, Irelia, and Shen are going to be able to show up with.
Yeah, they're going to be able to come out with a lot of tankiness, a lot of ability to just withstand those high damage assaults that Silver Trash is looking to put out.
So
got a little bit of trading going on. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of trading. Nice stun there from Death Design. He loves his damage with that wall slam. Really good about putting it in the right location. Nice route onto the Xayah in the bottom lane. Raven in trouble, but Kag Fancy comes in with a stun on Rakan. Fan Whip Temp drop to have health. Shields and flashes to safety, but it really chases down. First blood to Kag Fancy. Chasing it onto Xeno now, dropping him to half health as well. Raven Leo getting some really good damage. We're going to see Nerf as well. Social Bun trying to defend, unable to get the full defensive on. And Xeno with a force shot prepped and ready. However, unable to be sure who to jump onto. There's still red buff on Kag Fancy, so they're going to push these minions in.
Yeah, Raven was overestimating her damage there and underestimating how much damage Xena would be able to put out. And so as a result, she ends up taking a 1-for-0 and making it into a 1-for-1, which her team still gets, we still get the first blood onto Feels Bad, but Silver Trash does manage to equalize.
Ooh, and the Bacon King going to fall in the mid lane with a really good gank from Poppy. From in the top lane, Death Design heads down to the river where the Bacon King was getting some vision in, trying to get those wards down. We can see by the blue buff, and chases that Rise all the way down with the Xerath as well, and able to pick up a second kill for Team Feels Bad.
Okay, sorry, my wife needed me for a second.
No, you're totally fine. I was typing to the chat as well. It's Lord Reeves, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for hanging out and chilling with us as we are into game number 2. Death Design starting off strong, 0-0-1, but you know that Poppy is going to be dealing with damage. Has that corrupting potion. Kag Fancy may be found out by Sammy, who's going to get the fear down. However, with that red buff and the stun, it is going to fall. Death Design is always where he needs to be with those wall stuns.
And what's important there is Kag Fancy managed to get the kill. So you do have a little bit more damage going onto that Irelia. And she's able to pick up her blue buff, keep running through her jungle like she needs to be doing.
Yeah, 2-0-0, and with that red buff, it's just going to continue to clear and turn right around for another gank, potentially in the mid lane. Those stuns, when played correctly and just laced in between champions, can be really good at initiating or just diving onto the back line of any team fight. And that Jhin and Rakan are very squishy, which is why the gank in the bottom lane was so effective earlier. Now, Xeno didn't die, and he actually pulled off a kill out of it as well. And at this point, with that kill on the Xayah, is 15 farm over her. So pretty happy about that, despite the Rakan dying earlier.
Yeah, it's a very strong CS lead as we see Social Bun going for an engage. Kag Fancy and Sammy dueling in the jungle.
Yeah, Irelia getting the upper hand of it with that red buff. Warwick recognizing with that red buff, unable to escape. Slows were just going to be too much. Tries to fight it out, but Irelia has the damage. You can just see an extra blade in the inventory. I mean, she has like 8 of them spinning around her at all times anyway. One more wouldn't hurt, and able to pick up that kill. So now 4 kills for Team Feels Bad, which is really good for them because Silver Trash is the one who wants to be winning the early game.
Yeah, if they can take the early game away from Silver Trash, this is going to turn very quickly into a strong game in favor of Feels Bad, and it's not going to feel bad at all for them.
So Death Design pushing in the top lane, does have that level 6. Don't believe we'll use it under the turret on Sejace. Is it? Well, maybe. And just get some extra damage down. Stacks it up with the buckler toss as well. And walks away to safety, popping those corrupting potions. Probably going to back. One of the things I like about her is that she didn't take the teleport instead of going aggressive with that ignite. And so far, that has granted 2 assists to help her out.
Looking at the bot lane here, Phantom of Temp possessioning aggressively is noticing a very strong trend in Raven Leo 8, it looks like. She's very afraid of that engage from the Rakan and keeps backing off and giving up CS in order to stay safe from Phantom of Temp.
And by continuing to lose farm, it's allowing the Jhin to just continue to earn a lot more. 19,000 gold, or sorry, 1,900 gold to 1,050 on the Xayah. So he's going to be able to pick up a BF sword and a lot more off of that, whereas Xayah is just getting nickels to every dime that the Jhin is picking up. XLNC ulting in straight away onto the Bacon King. However, Sammy comes in as well, gets the fear down, stopping the ultimate. There comes Xerath though, cleans up one on the Warwick. XLNC finishing it off, as well as going to get a double kill. This Irelia is so far untouchable as in the bottom lane. The engage going to be stifled from Silver Trash.
A good job stifling that engage by Social Bun, making sure he got that taunt off as we see XLNC looping around the backside. We'll see if CAG goes for the tower dive there or even goes for any gank at all. That's design. Just deletes Jace's.
Yeah, has that Sheen now, so the damage is real and just going to continue to output a lot more of it as the game continues. Who needs to build tank when you can build full damage on the Poppy? I think there was one game even built lethality as Raven Leo in the bottom lane, trying to do what she can to get a little bit of harass. However, being very unsuccessful with that. Both still level 5, don't have ultimates, whereas the Jhin sitting happy with his.
Sitting happy with his, and he could at any moment, if he wanted to, go for that ultimate and try to execute Raven Leo 8. So she needs to be playing this extremely safely if she wants to stay alive.
So, yep, there is the Rakan quickness available. However, the Shen also has level 6, so we'll see if Phantom of Temp feels comfortable enough to go in on it. The Jhin is low mana, though, so probably will want to back before making use of those ultimates. Irelia around the corner as well, and currently 5-0. The full carry for the team. Almost 100% kill participation is the one to keep your eye on. She heads to the mid lane. There it is, the double knockup. Raven Leo maybe out. The quickness going to taunt her up, charm her. As Social Bun now rooted as well. Unable to jump to an ally. Going to be executed. And Zeno with a clean kill there. So Silver Trash coming out with a massive lead in the bottom lane. Good timing on that ultimate from the Rakan.
Good timing in the ultimate from Rakan. Good engage from them. Going to allow them to push this tower and starve Raven Leo for more CS and give them a nice back timer so they can come back and keep farming up this lane.
Still playing with the extension that Reeves told me about, that I'm trying to see whether or not that's what I thought that it was. Not seeing anything though. So I'll play with it more probably post-stream, and apparently it's just... Oh, this is for more options. I know what it is. I know what it is. Thank you, Reeves. I do know what it is. But it's not something I want. Nice flash from the Warwick. Defensively just used very, very quickly as Death Design came slamming in. Didn't want to get hit into a wall. Has the Sheen as well as now the Glacial Shroud. So starting to get a little bit tankier. There's not much that Rivet can do besides continue trying to outfarm.
Trying to outfarm, and it's going okay, but with how many kills and assists the Poppy's getting just from roaming around and going after the Warwick, it's going to be hard to keep up in gold. 3 longswords on that Riven along with that Caulfield's Warhammer.
Riven, it really does look like she's got an inventory of broken swords. She's got the handle with the hammer, and then 4 swords, all in pieces, makes up her, her sword. As she heads back to lane 73, farmed to the 70 of the Poppy, who's just going to continue to shove her in. She has hit level 7, but is level 7 to level 9 on Death's Design, who's been roaming, clearing the enemy top lane jungle, now slamming in really good damage on the Sejaces. Drops the Riven down to half health. Phantom Temp goes in, double knock him once again, immediately into the quickness. The Shen starts the ultimate, trying to protect the Xayah, unable to get all the way in, but Warwick comes in. Great ultimate from Raven, but she's still going to fall. Social Bun also going to be cleaned up. Xeno flashes in for the last auto attack, cleans up. Good engage by Salmon because the Xayah was almost out of that one.
And Baking King gets here first on the roam from the mid lane. So that means Decrepified is going to have to farm this wave out and try to keep it from crashing and keep this tower from falling from long range, which he's a Xerath. He's perfectly capable of doing that.
Trying to get finished off. Xeno, one more auto attack or one more ult would have been enough that his Rise went underneath the turret in the meantime. So Jace is in the top lane, tries to finish off Death's Design, will fall instead. The Decrepified continuing to bounce back and forth, but Rise flashes over the wall. The flash keeps him alive for the moment. The stun onto the Jhin. He gets the execution. Trade of kills in the bottom lane. 1-for-1, but overall it was still ended up being a 3-for-2 as the team feels bad, continues to drag themselves into a lead.
Continues to drive themselves into lead. We see CagFancy here in the mid lane cleaning up a control ward on the way down to bot lane. Not going to really find anything down there, so it looks like we're going to set up vision for the Cloud Drake by picking up that Scuttle Crab.
Indeed. Now, one of the things I liked about that Xerath outplay in the bottom lane, or almost outplay, flashing away, getting the stun onto Jhin, knew the targeting system well of the tower, and didn't try to get any damage onto the Rise, who just had too much health and was also almost out of tower range anyway, but instead saw the Jhin overextending, said, this is at least one kill that I can guarantee getting back before I go down. So really just having good vision for where all of the members of Silver Trash were, rather than just the one that was the most closest damage threat. 100 farm over the 78 farm of the Bacon King. CagFancy coming in, misses the stun, though the stun from the Xerath also going to miss. However, they're still going to be able to pick that one up, not too concerned.
You don't need crowd control when they're dead. It's basically the moral of the story there. As we see Phantom Attempt just hiding here, waiting for Raven to step forward.
Raven Leo feeling good though, going to back out. Now low blast cone there, keeps Jason alive. The flash from CagFancy comes in, disarmed on the Riven. The Warwick comes in, but a bit too late. Throws down the ultimate as well. Can the fear be enough? The stun comes down from CagFancy, gets the trade and the kill. The heal! Holy crap! CagFancy lives and picks up the red buff on top of it. The ice cream on top of the cake.
CagFancy going full hard carry mode for his team there. Raven takes a huge chunk of damage from that dancing grenade.
And another, I can check it real fast. Yeah, Deadly Flourish from Xeno, just to add some extra damage on top of that for the Riven. She has the BF sword, but is still very, very low on farm in comparison to the Jhin. 53 farm, the stun down from Decrepified forces the backing from the Raven Leo. Recalls the feathers, but just misses that, unable to use that blade collar to snare anyone up, and so the members of Silver Trash will be able to walk away safely. Almost caught out the Rakan though.
Almost caught out the Rakan. I'm curious to see, I would have loved to see if she noticed her flash was up. The flash to the side to follow that up as we see Rise coming into bot lane.
Double knock up, the heal as well, but not going to be enough. Immediately into the quickness from Rakan, who heads right back to the base before deciding, I'm moving a little bit too far, time to re-engage. So Jason's in the top lane on the run as Death's Design needs one more slam. The buckler toss going to put him very, very low, burning away. The Riven will live, but just barely. Death's Design still continuing to have his way in the top lane.
Having away in the top lane, and you see Warwick and Rise are both kind of throwing away that top lane, focusing on the bot lane, where their bot lane has been able to eke out an advantage, but at what cost? This top turret is now under siege. Top inner turret is under siege, as well as the mid inner turret whenever they feel like going after it. Both of those are under siege at the cost of...
Knock up, but the double stun though from Irelia. Gonna be able to clean up one legendary for CagFancy. Red buff ticking away on Phantom of Temp. Probably will dive this as well, but good use of the again, stopwatch. Tries to get the stun, isn't gonna find it. The dash away, but the knockup isn't there. And CagFancy cleans up a legendary kill underneath the turret. There's nothing that can stop this 9-0-1 Irelia.
And that was a fantastic job by Social Bun, getting under tower and taking aggro so that once Cag got back onto his target, he wasn't targeted by the tower. He couldn't get finished off by it because it was already hitting Social Bun. Fantastic work by CagFancy there.
Yeah, and Rakan tries to hop away to safety. However, Irelia has the resets on that dash, and so can just continue to follow those up one after another. Now, one of the things to note is despite being 14 kills to 8, they're only 4,000 gold in the lead. A lot of this is due to the Jhin having such a substantial lead on the Xayah in the bottom lane. Infinity Edge already finished Phantom Dancer on the way as well. So there's still some potential that he could turn into a massive ranged carry. However, they need to group, and when they're losing top lane turrets, the Jace is literally just standing there, not even getting gold, maybe a little bit of XP off of a few minions falling. This is not good for Silver Trash. In the bottom lane, they are going to push in. Zeno getting massive crit onto Raven Leo. The knockup there as well just continues to auto away. Flashes in, wants to grenade, wants to auto, does get the fourth shot, doesn't finish it off. Now it might be in tower range there. Warwick coming ahead towards the bottom lane. The top lane, Jason gets a double stun, throws out the ultimate as well. Warwick diving underneath the turret this time around. Sammy finishes it off. Deadly flourish from Jhin, just going to be a little bit late. So they could trade the top lane turret for the bottom lane tier 1 for Silver Trash. However, it looks like they'll just get a free turret in the bottom lane.
They're going to take the turret in bot lane. Worth noting there, Raven apparently does not play with Shen as often as she would probably like to right now. She walked out of the Spirit's Refuge and got hit by 2 extra auto attacks from the Jhin that would have been avoided if she had stayed under the Spirit's Refuge.
Bacon King, 1122, flashing to safety, barely getting out, but that is going to be down. Next time, Aurelia decides to go in, and with that, Steric's Gauge is just going to be continuing, almost unkillable. At this point in the game, Silver Trash just wants to avoid the Aurelia at all costs. Raven Leo 8 may be able to finally pick up some farm in the bottom lane, just slow push it, taking away those minions little by little, trying to get back into the game in gold.
Yeah, she's going to have to get back into the game in gold that way. Otherwise, she's a ripe target to just be picked on right now. The bright side of this is, we got an engage here.
Yep, could be a knockup. Double stun, though. This is twice now Rakan has done it. Gets the quickness. The charm goes down. Cag Fancy still alive. The flash from Rakan keeping himself alive as well. Trying to get the snare down. Aurelia has fallen, so Jace cleans it up. And this is that grouping power of Silver Trash. Able to finally get together. Death's Design flies, and there's the ultimate from the Xerath as well. Gonna clean up almost everyone. Poppy gets 2 with that buckler. Toss the Xayah goes in. Just gonna get some assists on this one with the Blade recall. However, Bacon King still going to fall. Social Bun picks that one up as Team Feels Bad gets a return of 3 kills in trade for the Aurelia.
Well, and she has to, she ends up doing so much damage that they're able to just clean up a couple of kills very easily. We see Riven teleporting in behind. Looks like she's going to be focusing on the Scuttle Crab. Picks it up.
Ooh, Zeno with a huge dodge. Wow, that was some fancy moves. Tries to get in one more auto attack. Could be enough. A grenade as well, but the shield, the barrier. Riven comes in, so Jace cleans that up. The curtain call from Jhin immediately going to be closed, though, as he doesn't need it. Riven from behind. Beautiful play by Zeno on this Jhin.
Excellently played by Zeno there. Made sure to get enough damage in there, and then Jace is coming in for the easy cleanup after teleporting down and taking the Scuttle Crab away from that bot side river.
So the one Drake that has been taking this game is that Wind Drake picked up by Team Feels Bad, which is going to be even better for the Poppy. Death's Design able to reposition to guarantee those slams into the wall, not only for the extra damage, but with that Frozen Mallet, going to have the slows and super tanky. And now with the Black Cleaver as well, it's just going to be so darn painful. It almost feels like there's 2 unkillables on the map at this point, as Rakan drops a Redemption, just for the feel of it, I suppose. Why not? Why not?
Nailed it.
Hashtag nailed it. Hey, Vitey V, welcome. Glad you could join the stream.
Hey,
as
Vitey.
We are in the middle of game number 2, pushing into game number 3. Team Feels Bad with a 5-kill, 3,000 gold advantage. But game not over. It is really Jhin versus Poppy and Aurelia at this point in the game.
Jhin versus Poppy and Aurelia. Xerath and Ryze are also pretty big factors in this game, especially with Xerath poking down his enemies from that long range, making sure that when they start that fight eventually, they're not at full health. They're starting with 67% health or so on each of the carries and each of the tanks for Silver Trash. So you're going to see a lot of low health members before the fight even starts there because that Xerath is just such a long range.
I'd still like to see Silver Trash try to have some grouping power, so Jace goes in, gets the stun down to Grepify the root as well. Clean kill picked up. Phantom Attempt tries to get the knock-up on Death's Design, but that will not be happening this time as the mid lane turret under siege, and with the damage from Sejaces and Bacon King, should be able to pick up the mid-tier turret, the second turret for Team Silver Trash.
Second turret for Team Silver Trash. Zeno comes in, shares in the tower gold there. And it looks like that we got pings for them to look in to pick up the gold on the top side. Might want to establish some vision as we see Shen coming into the Irelia.
And that's going to be triple stun from Irelia. Kag Fancy going to clean up one on the Jin. Riven also going to fall. We're calling the next one up as Kag Fancy chases in. Bacon King doesn't find the stun, but still going to find a triple kill. There's a Quadra if he wants the Warwick as well. It will fall underneath the turret. Tank that up way too long, but guaranteed a clean ace for his team as Poppy will finish off the Warwick. And that gives Feels Bad all the time in the world to go wherever they want and push in that mid lane turret.
Pushing that mid lane turret, knock that down, and then immediately pivot back to Baron if they choose to do so. Their opponent does not have any vision on it as we see the Redemption coming in.
From Rakan trying to do some damage to the minions and push them off of the turret, but not going to be near enough damage, and so it will
Does Redemption even do damage to minions? I don't think it does.
Oh, it might not? I thought that it did because it was sometimes used to kind
Nope,
of...
burn all enemy champions.
Okay.
Enemy champions 10% of their health. Deals 250 true damage to enemy minions.
They must have patched that, so no damage to the minions, so dealing a little bit of damage to the enemy champions, but not enough to scare them away. And so that's going to be a second Windrake picked up by Team Feels Bad as they are continuing to scale much, much better. 12-2-3 on this Aurelia, 5-0-4 on Poppy. Jin is going to have to throw everything and the bathtub at Feels Bad to be able to pull this one into a win.
To pull it into a win, he's going to have to really pull something out of his hat, that's for sure. We do see a lot, I mean, that point of weakness is the bot lane right now. Social Bun has been able to get into a couple of fights and be able to make a difference. Raven Luade on this Xayah is still, she's not doing as well as she would like to be doing, I'm sure.
So the grouping power of Silver Trash, will it be enough? We talked about the ability for them to wombo combo some serious CC and potential damage as well. However, when they group, there's the opportunity for Kag Fancy to get some stuns down, throws down the ultimate, the flash from Jin. He's trying to escape and lives for the moment as Phantom of Temp going to use the charm, get out alive. So that's the ultimate from Kag Fancy down. And now Sammy in a little bit of trouble, has been slowed, decrepified with some good damage. The flash from Sammy going to fail, just turns out immediately into the ultimate, but Jin's going to find the root. Will it be enough? Riven comes in as well. Isn't he engaged? But Death Designs onto the Jin. Cleans him up with the ultimate as well. Ignite ticking away. There's nothing that the members of Silver Trash can do. The engage looks so good. The Poppy with a double kill is going to be able to secure the win of that team fight for Team Feels Bad.
Able to secure the team fight. That's probably going to secure bot inner turret too, because they can, Death's Design can just push them right into the wall like so.
And guarantee maybe another kill onto the Bacon King as that's going to be Social Bun trying to tank up. Probably slams him into a wall once again, becomes a legendary 8-0. Doesn't want Irelia to be the only one having fun. Phantom of Temp the only left alive, but he's going to fall as well. And everyone's seeing gray screens on the side of Silver Trash as the bot lane turret will fall.
I just love how Raven Luade on that Xayah is just sitting there hitting the tower that entire time the fight's going. She's focused, she's determined, she's like, I'm going to do one thing this game, I'm going to take this tower.
Hey, sometimes
they're gonna like it.
That's what it takes, is let
that's
your
what
team
you gotta do.
who are fed do the fancy plays, and you take those objectives that really, League of Legends is an objective-based game. It's not really about how many kills. You could kill everyone on the enemy team 1,000 times over, but if it's your Nexus that falls, which has to lose turrets to get there, it doesn't matter. So
yep.
The Xayah says, have fun with your kills. I'm going to take the turret and make sure the objective game continues to go in our favor. 6 turrets to 2. Team Feels Bad strongly in the lead. Has not made their way towards Baron yet, but I think that's going to be the next objective on their mind.
Probably going to be the next one on the map as Jace is... What a dodge!
Completely blind from the bush, dashes forward. I'm going to assume that that was completely purposeful, but good moves by the Riven, picks up the red buff, gets out alive. Silver Trash trying to group, trying to hold. It is a huge wave pushing in the top side. Xerath scripted. It was beautiful to watch nonetheless as Social Bun, I'm sorry, is going to move in as the Cinder, Balmy's Cinder. We started dealing damage to Baron, dropping the Shen passively down to half health as Baron was having his way with the Shen. 2 members, it feels bad. Oh.
2 members go bad way too far forward by themselves, sitting on a ward.
may be able to be jumped on here. Dodges 2, gonna try to dodge the 3rd as well. Will find it, but Sammy jumps over, gonna get the fear as well, and that could be the engage. That's what Silver Trash wants. Finds the Xerath, immediately take him out, charming up the Poppy. Phantom Attempt getting low, but that's gonna be a clean kill. Now turning onto Barret, however, it's only down underneath 3,000 health. Silver Trash is here, they can engage, Rise ults themselves into the back line. They can do this. Really the only one who can try to turn this around, but she's going to fall. The disengage going to be so slow, able to stun up 2, but still falls. Rakan the only one down from Silver Trash. They can turn on. This is their Baron. This is their fight. What a turnaround play from Silver Trash.
And it's time to pick up a lot of the standing gold they've got on the map. That top outer turret is one that I see as an easy first target, and as well as the bottom inner turret. They've got a wave stacking up in bottom lane, so they can pick up a lot of gold, make up a lot of space here, and turn this into a really strong, really good game. After it was looking like it was starting to slip with Cag Fancy and Death Design going absolutely nuts on their champions.
And this is where it feels bad. Got a little bit overconfident, a little pushed too far forward. We're trying to sneak away a kill. However, the beautiful ward, look at how many wards Silver Trash has in this top side. And they saw where the members of Feels Bad were hiding out and then moved in to not only, despite missing a couple of those initial spells, get a good sneak off onto the Xerath, take out the Poppy, make it a 5v3, and then the Rise ulting the entire team behind the Baron. Just a beautiful play, sets them up to get right back into this game. They're still 5,000 gold behind, but with that Baron, their sieging is going to be a lot easier.
A lot easier, and this all goes back to Jace's picking up that red buff earlier when we were talking about Decrepified, launching that stun out of the bush, and Jace's managing to dodge it. As soon as that happened, we saw Silver Trash go and light up that top side of the jungle with wards, and that just paid off a big time for them with a full ace and a Baron for them.
And they only lost the Rakans, so that means multiple members with that Baron are going to be able to push these lanes out. Now, I like what they're doing right now, and that they're sending a couple different members to each lane to get those minion waves pushing in their favor. However, I still want to see them grouping. It was that grouping power that has been able to guarantee them all the kills they've had so far and the win on that fight. The multi-man snares, the Rise AoE damage, Jhin being able to just bounce grenades between every member on the enemy side, and getting that pick potential. So they need to keep that group alive and watch where it is that they go, as the Baron will be picked up by members of Feel Bad. A third Wind Drake going to be cleaned up, so they are going to be super speedy. Once they're hit, though, they're going to drop a lot of that movement speed off.
Drop a lot of that movement speed off, but that's what they're looking for, is a lot of speed for Cag Fancy and Death's Design, so they can move between lanes a lot more quickly, keep up at least somewhat with the mobility of Team Silver Trash, especially with that Rise and that Warwick.
And Death's Design misses the ultimate. That should be the Poppy going down. The snare, the root from the Deadly Flurry from the Jhin. They get the flash. That's what they wanted. Now, there is no dragon down here for Silver Trash to pick up, but I like that they aren't over aggressive, and you could see that was about to turn into a 4v4 for themselves. So Jace is waiting in the bush to see if the Xerath decides to move up. Doesn't, so instead they group back towards the mid lane, staying as a solid unit, starting to push that one out with all of their Baron buffs.
Staying as a solid unit. They don't know where the Irelia is right now. She just showed herself on top lane, and so now they go for that aggressive push onto that mid lane tower. You see an assist ping coming in for Team Feels Bad. There we go.
So they should be able to pick up this middle and second tier turret pretty easily, as Aurelia's in that top lane. Riven the only one there to defend, but she does have the Baron buff, and that's going to make it a little bit slower for those Baron-empowered minions to fall down. So Jace is getting a nice stun into Cag Fancy. She still doesn't have the ultimate. However, the flash from Riven keeps her alive for a moment. She's trying to CC. Not going to be enough, but it doesn't matter. The mid lane inhibitor is already under attack. Death's Design, very low. Social Bun flashing to safety as the massive damage from the Jhin crits. One more auto attack should clean up, but the shield from Shen. Social Bun not able to save the Xayah. The mid lane inhibitor is down. This could be the push from Silver Trash if they want to try to win it right now. They don't have the Baron buff anymore. It has already fallen off. But Cag Fancy recalled rather than trying to push in to get the inhibitor, and that's going to be finishing off the Rakan. Secure Sammy trying to get the CC onto Cag Fancy. Xeno the only one left alive, as Decrepify, the one who stayed behind to push onto a inhibitor, will be able to clean that one up. Could rotate towards the top. Instead, is just going to keep pushing those minions forward. The flash flash forward to get the stun, and that might finally guarantee the win for Team Feels Bad. But Silver Trash almost had the most amazing comeback.
Almost had it, and we do see Jace's is back up, so it might be able to clear out this wave and keep the game from ending right here, but they do have an inhibitor down in the bot lane, as well as an open inhibitor top lane that's about to go down from all of those minions. Oh my word.
Yeah, huge wave pushing that top lane. So Jace is the only one left alive trying to defend, but the Nexus turrets are under siege. One of them has already fallen. Rakan, Phantom of the Temp, trying to do what he can, getting a little bit of heals on, but not able to do much without Redemption. Sammy comes in, though. The rest of the team's respawning. Poppy throws 2 back onto the fountain, but Social Bund may fall. The first tank is down. Death Design now on the run. Cag Fancy not going to find any stuns. Rise getting the 3-man ulti, pulling them in, but that just sets up Cag Fancy for 3-man stun. Death Design inside of the pit, trying to get the damage. The full channel from Decrepify going to guarantee 1 kill onto the Riven, but Xeno's here with an auto attack. The stun, though, stopping it. He's got the Deadly Flourish. He's got one more auto attack to clean that one up. That's Design. If he can get this 4th shot crit speed boost, he might be able to chase in. Starts the curtain call. Can he find Death's Design? The jump from Sammy.
Oh!
Way out, but it doesn't matter. The 4th shot's good. And now Cag Fancy looking for the kill onto the Jhin. They've got super minions pushing in the top side and the bottom side as both these inhibitors are down. The one saving grace is that they have the inhibitor down in the mid lane for Team Feels Bad as Cag Fancy goes in, but that's going to be the charm as well. The root is good from Xeno. The ultimate from Raven trying to snare up the Rakan will find it, and Xeno gets the outplay and continues to defend the base.
Xeno continues to defend the base. I like what Raven did there. We've seen her be over aggressive a couple of times here. And there she just played support. She said, all right, Cag, I'm going to back you up. And what she did was she threw out her ultimate and then used the Blade Caller to root up Phantom of Temp so that Phantom couldn't continue the pursuit to maybe try and pick up a kill on the low health Cag Fancy.
So with the top lane and the bottom lane inhibitor down, Silver Trash full defensive, having to just very carefully try to push those waves back out. They need to make sure that they don't get caught out as Cag Fancy 23-7, just brutally crushing through anything that he decides to fight. However, is not unkillable, though at this point of the game might be pretty close to unkillable. Previously has not been unkillable before. It has a Guardian's Angel as well on top of it. Poppy still only sitting at 5 items herself, 10, 2, and 7. So the saving grace is if Feels Bad splits up and Silver Trash can get a pick off and turn it into a 4v5. With all 5 members pushing down the mid lane and able to turn onto the Baron that just spawned, it may be game over for Silver Trash as Feels Bad continues to push in.
Feels Bad continues to push in. They're only sending 2 members to kind of push this in, even against a super minion in the mid wave, which I don't agree with. I'd definitely have 4 or even the full 5-man there if you're going to try and push in against super minions into the enemy team.
Raven Leo taking some pretty good damage off of that super minion, but Sammy with that healing, able to get back up to full health without too much issue. It's all about the mid lane turret now. Sammy wants to get the fear in, especially onto Raven. Leo trying to tank it up as much as possible. Has the red buff, but Death Design is behind enemy lines. The Bacon King able to sneak away a kill onto the squishy Xayah. However, she doesn't do much damage. It's all about the Jhin now. Can they execute him? Xeno so low, we will fall, and that's the main damage source from Silver Trash, who is out, but Poppy has fallen as well. Silver Trash is still on the defensive. The root onto Social Bun, trying to protect as much as possible. Cag Fancy alive, but that means that Feels Bad is forced to back out, and Silver Trash continues to hold.
Silver Trash continues to hold. We see pings going onto the Baron for Feels Bad, so it looks like they might be rotating over there with Cag Fancy and Decrepified moving that way. I'm sorry, Social Bun, not Decrepified. My apologies. Now Decrepified is on his way over there.
He had to back, get a couple more items before heading back. Still has the Dark Seal as well, but Luden's Echo and the Zanya is going to make it a little bit harder to kill him as he deals massive damage. Phantom of Temp doing a good job of getting that vision down for Silver Trash. This is where they won that last team fight inside their own jungle before chasing onto a Baron and able to sneak that away. It was less of a Baron victory for them, though it did grant them an inhibitor, and more of just taking it away from Team Feels Bad, who has yet to pick it up, instead trying to just break this middle inhibitor turret from Silver Trash, and with the execution on that Poppy, stifled the engage last time.
absolutely stuffed the engage, made it to where they had the ability to just walk into the pit and take the fight. We see the Ocean Drake going over to Team Feels Bad here.
Hey, no spoilers. No spoilers. All right. No spoilers. We'd like to find out what happened because we are the first time watching, so we do not know what happens in the game as Team Feels Bad is going to head towards the Baron. They pinged it away as Silver Trash does have vision on it, though it will be cleared out very quickly by Cag Fancy. The Glass Cone taken away by Social Bun as well. They should be able to just completely take out Baron and very, very quickly burn it down. Silver Trash unable to respond, instead chasing onto the Poppy. It's all about Death's Design staying alive at this point. If the Poppy falls, it's a 4v5. Silver Trash has a small chance to win, but as they could not get the engage onto Death's Design, it will be now 5 members having that Baron pushing down into Silver Trash's base.
And we got a very split call there from Silver Trash. As soon as they saw Death's Design and as soon as they saw their ward go dark in the Baron pit, they all started moving to Baron and then decided to concede it and go after Death's Design. But that gave Death's Design enough time to back out. And so as a result, they got neither of the objectives that they were looking to get.
Yeah, and you can't make a full decision on that. They do have all 3 inhibitors have spawned. The top and bottom respawned, but I think with the members of Feels Bad and the Baron, the 3 members up here onto Cag Fancy, not sure they'll be able to take him out. He uses the ultimate. Will it be enough? The Guardian's Angel has been popping the members of Feels Bad. Poppy moving in. Death Design trying to give it a down. Warwick has already fallen. Inhibitor fallen by Zaya, picking that one up. The Rakan cleaned up as well. Zeno trying to deal as much damage to Decrepify. One more auto attack, but he uses the Zonius, and that's going to clean him up as Raven gets the snare down. The flash forward from the Riven gets her a kill onto the Xerath, but will still fall. Death Design finishing it off. And with Raven, Leo, a Social Bun, Death Design left alive, they take out the Nexus, and Teams Feels Bad will claim victory in game number 2.
Well, it looks like it feels pretty good there. What just happened?
It was a surrender, I believe, from Silver Trash, but we have some maxi big crits coming out. Wow, hold on. 1,700, 1,025. These aren't that big. I'm sure Jin did bigger crits in the game, but
Well, that's what Jin does, though.
yeah, that's how Jin does. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but that looked pretty cool. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
All right.
interesting.
Let's roll through honorable mentions and MVPs for game number 2.
All right, well, for the losing side for Team Silver Trash, let's take a look here once my scoreboard pulls up here. All right, honorable mention is going to go over to Phantom of Temps. Did a lot of good job, especially in the early game, making sure that he got DRF Xeno ahead so that bottom lane could start to snowball, especially with the mid lane and the top lane falling behind. It was critical that bottom lane got going, and Phantom of Temps engages with that ultimate, made it to where that was easily able to happen. That being said, we move on to the MVP, which has to go to Xeno in that case. Xeno did a good job of making sure that once he got that lead in the bot lane, he continued to move it forward, continued to snowball that lead, and ended up not going in his favor because of the fact that we had a couple Fed members on the side of Team Feels Bad. But he did manage to do what he could to keep this game close and even almost turn it around, like you said, at that Baron fight. Where they almost managed to pull that back and make it a complete win on their side.
Indeed. And I mean, some of Xeno's plays, there's especially one highlight that I want to pull out where he dodged so much of the Xerath, Decrepified's CC in the mid lane, and then turned on all the damage. Would have had it with the curtain call as well, except that the Riven, Jace's came in and stole it away. What a jerk top laner. For the winning team, we are going to give honorable mention. Oh, this one's so hard. I really can't decide. What should it be? To Death Design for just devastating that top lane. Full mastery of the champion. Good roaming as well with the powerhouse. And then to Cag Fancy MVP, just decimating in the jungle. Came for the quick gank bottom lane multiple times over. And then the number of stuns that this Irelia had and lining it up multiple times over. I mean, how many times did Phantom of Temp try to dash in to get a knock-up and only lead to both of them getting snared before the knock-up even fell through? Both of them stunned up, and Cag Fancy able to get all the resets that he wanted. Just really, really, really good play. I think there was a fight in which 3 or 4 members of the enemy team also got stunned up. So full mastery.